Dan Schneider, a scandal at Nickelodeon. Now, I heard a little bit about this. I heard a little bit about the freaky weirdo Dan Schneider. Apparently, he's a freaky weirdo pedo, and he's got like a weird foot fetish. That's what I've heard, and it's freaking me out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm terrified, cause Dan Schneider is the mastermind behind my literal childhood. iCarly, Zoe 101, Victorious, right? All of them. All those shows were legendary. They're goated, right? You know what I'm saying? They're goated. And to hear that Dan Schneider is supposedly a freaky weirdo, it makes my stomach churn. There's a nice, man. There's a viewer discretion warning. We love those.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh, yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally.
Is that Amanda?
It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures.
If you grew up watching Nickelodeon, then you may have heard of Dan Schneider. He was responsible for many of its hit shows during the 90s.
Dude, look at this list. Look at this list. All that, absolutely legendary, bro. All that is like the first major Nickelodeon show that I remember watching, bro. All that, better than SNL, by the way. All that. Kenan and Kel, the dynamic duo, greatest of all time. The Amanda Show, goated. Drake and Josh, goated. Zoe 101, goated. iCarly, goated. Victorious, goated. Sam and Cap, that's where the fall off started happening. Henry Danger, dog shit. Game Shakers, ass. The Adventures of Kid Danger, even more dog shit. But that list is legendary, dude.
Thousands, such as The Amanda Show, iCarly, and my personal favorite, Drake and Josh. In recent years, Dan has been brought into controversy due to rumors about abusive and possibly sexual behaviors between him and his young female co-stars. None of these rumors were grounded with any hard evidence, and most people dismissed it. Until March 26, 2018, when Nickelodeon announced that they will be parting ways with Dan Schneider. The news surprised many people. Why would Nickelodeon fire one of its biggest producers seemingly out of nowhere? Were they aware of all the rumors and decided to finally do something about it? What is the Dan Schneider conspiracy?
Okay, I'm Carly.
I'm Sam.
And we
Foot
like to draw
fetish.
families.
Here we go. Right off the bat. We're getting freaky deaky right off the bat, dude.
Toes.
Observe.
Okay, and that completes our 5-part series on toes with froze.
Now, I'm gonna turn off the camera using only the remote and the power of my toes.
This is...
One of the most prominent rumors regarding Dan Schneider is that he has a thing for feet and uses
I
his
think it's
shows and their
very
following
clear.
to satisfy this fetish. You may be thinking, well, maybe he just finds feet and toes to be funny. And to be honest, some of the scenes by themselves are rather harmless and something that I can imagine on other shows.
Bro,
However, it's
that's facts, bro. That's what I was thinking, bro. Like, when I was a kid, right, and I'm watching these, I thought these were hilarious jokes. I hope these are hilarious jokes, bro. I thought these were hilarious jokes, bro. You know what I'm saying? Feet are funny. Feet are funny. You know what I'm saying? You click the, you know what I'm saying? Click the button with the toes, all that crazy stuff, right? It's funny. But now you look at it, why is there so many toe jokes? Why is there so many feet jokes, bro?
undeniable that there are a large number of feet-related puns and barefoot scenes in his shows, too many to list here. Outside of television, there are some weird examples, however. In Victorious, Tori hosts an online show called Tori Takes Requests, where viewers can ask her to do all sorts of random things. In the very first episode, Tori gets a request to have ketchup poured all over her feet, and then she does a little dance at the end. In another online show called Cat's Random Thoughts, there's a moment in the first episode where she sticks her big toe in her mouth.
Thank you for the bit.
I didn't really watch Victorious growing up, so I don't know if these played on television, but I do know that they were extras on theslab.com.
They did!
A fictional in-universe website. Now, here is where things get even more unusual. On September 13th, 2013, the Sam and Cat Twitter page asked its followers to take a picture of their feet with the hashtag Sam and Cat Saturday. And a number of people did. This is just one of many now infamous feet-related tweets
Okay,
from Dan
now
Schneider.
this is on another level, bro. Can I get, if you think feet are hilarious, cool, that's right. But now you're asking viewers, right? And at the time, this is 2013, right? At the time, most of the viewers of anything Dan Schneider did in Nickelodeon in general, right? Most of them are minors, right? They're kids. Nickelodeon's a kids channel. So you're asking children, literal children, to write something on the bottom of their feet and send it to you on Twitter. It's a whole other level, bro. This is getting freaky. Why is my video so laggy?
During his shows, but this is the most well-known. You can find several if you look around long enough. During the same year, there was a post on Reddit about how Dan Schneider is the most successful writer / TV executive in children's television for the last 30 years. A user commented, I grew up in LA and was an extra on the Amanda Show a few times. He, being Dan Schneider, paid me $100 once just to tickle my feet.
What?
The user further elaborated. To make a weird story short, in between takes, Dan asked me if I was ticklish, and I said no. Then he bet me $100 he could make me ticklish. I was expecting him to reach over and tickle me under my arm or something like that, but he led me to his office. I basically got paid to receive a foot massage and a lot of compliments. The commenter later deleted his or her account.
Excuse
it's unknown who
me.
this person is, how old he or she was, or if this person was even telling the truth.
Okay, yeah, see, that's a good point, right? Nobody knows if this is true. This could just be some random fucking dude on Reddit, right? Because this is Reddit. This is home of the neckbeards, headquarters of the virgins, right? This is Reddit. So this could just be some weirdo neckbeard in his mama's basement. He's just typing on Reddit, Dan Schneider paid me to tickle his feet, right? Okay, yeah, I'd understand that. You're a dumbass, right? But that was a very believable story. They were an extra. They were an extra on the Amanda Show. Dan Schneider paid him $100 to tickle the feet. That I guess it's believable, and it's also not believable because we don't know who this person is.
A small YouTube channel known as Revenge of the Sis have done a number of videos about Dan Schneider, and during one of their podcasts, they received a call from an anonymous source stating that she went to an audition for one of Dan Schneider's shows. The call was quite lengthy, so for time's sake, I'll be playing a portion of what she had to say. The full podcast will be available below.
So in 1997, I was discovered in a mall.
Discovered in a mall? What does that mean?
We would go on auditions just to different places, and eventually I got a manager and an agent who would send me on audition calls for, like little things like commercials and everything. And then as I started growing in my career, in 2007, my agent contacted me and my family about
she sounds kind of fun.
Possibly getting a good Nickelodeon gig. And we flew out to LA for this audition. And when we got there, it was a bunch of kids, probably like 200 kids. And then these random agents hand-selected specific kids that they liked or, showed some charisma. And then once about 40 kids were selected, we were then told to take off our shoes and that we were each going to go into a room to show the producer, who is Dan Schneider, the tapes to see who we would want on the show. And of course, we always ask, like, oh, what do we have to do? Like, what would you like us to be doing once we're in there? And my agent told me, he's like, it's going to be like a He's like, you got to just take off your shoes, just like run around in front of the camera, you know, talk about how much you love being barefoot. And at the time, even
Dude,
it was like, okay.
see, now
that's
this one's believable, bro. We're hearing her actual voice. She's telling us a story. It sounds like a real, legit story, right? She told us beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, she was found, discovered in a mall. She was doing auditions. She got an agent. Boom. Middle, she gets a Nickelodeon gig. She flies out to LA for audition. Boom. Okay. Boom. And they tell her to go barefoot. Talk about how she loves being barefoot. This is getting freaky, bro. This is getting freaky. Like, my toes are out right now. My bare naked toes.
I didn't
and I'm
think
getting
anything of it.
uncomfortable. What if Dan Schneider's watching me right now through my window?
My mom kind of looked around and was like, this is wrong. There's just something really wrong about this.
Because this person's mother decided to take her out of the audition, she's been blacklisted from the business.
That's nice. Sexual abusive
Dan Schneider,
behavior.
I know you're watching my Vine. Do you like my Vine? Fine. Look what you've done to me.
There are a number of photos circulating the internet of Dan Schneider being a bit too touchy with his young child actors, some of which are a bit more uncomfortable to look at than others.
Oh my gosh, that's Quinn.
There are stories of him
She's
inviting
sitting on his
young
lap.
actresses into his office and hosting pool parties during auditions.
So what would happen is that your parents would send you to sort of like this camp. It was basic acting classes, and it was an opportunity for the kids to get discovered. And interestingly enough, most of the kids got discovered by the pool. They had a pool, they had like tennis courts, and I believe like it was like Megan Fox and other female celeb, and Hillary Duff was another one who got discovered there at the pool. And they would push you to do pool activities because they said that's where you have the highest chance of getting discovered.
Now,
This
what was the age range of the people that went to
You gotta be at the
at these
pool.
camps?
The age ranges, the ones that I was familiar with, are ages 13 to 22.
Nice, man.
In an article by Kira Davis,
This has got to be real, bro. Because now she's telling us about these camps where it's acting classes and you get discovered by the pool and stuff. This isn't just something somebody just make up. You know what I'm saying? You just wake up one day, oh, let me just make up a story about Dan Schneider going to an audition, having to take my shoes off and getting discovered by a pool because I'm wearing a two-piece. I'm feeling like this is real, and I'm uncomfortable, dude. This is nice. This is real nice, dude. Jesus Christ.
from Red State, she writes, I happened to be chatting with a former child actor over a week ago. We were discussing Weinstein, and she told me that in her youth, she worked on one of Schneider's shows very briefly. She told me, my friend was molested by that man on set.
Everyone knew it. No one said a word.
In 2004, actor and producer Brian Peck was convicted of several accounts of lewd acts towards a minor and was sentenced to 16
Wait, run it back.
In 2004, actor and producer Brian Peck was convicted of several accounts of lewd acts towards a minor and was sentenced to 16 months in prison.
16
Court documents
months.
reveal that several of these acts involved attempted sodomy of a person under 16, sexual penetration by foreign object, and oral copulation by anesthesia or controlled substance.
Sexual penetration by foreign object. And you only gave this motherfucker 16 months? 16 months for getting freak nasty with a mutt, dude. Dude, that's the problem right there, bro. That's the problem right there. You gave somebody like that 16 months. Motherfucker, you should have given that dude 16 years. The fuck is that?
Just to name a few. The victim has remained anonymous to protect his or her career, but according to reports, the child actor was involved in The Amanda Show. After serving a sentence, Peck was released from prison and went straight back to working on kids shows. such as The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. This is because although he is prohibited from direct contact with children, that technically doesn't mean he's not allowed to work on shows that involve children.
This is psychotic, dude. This is psychotic. This dude gets arrested for multiple counts of freak nasty with a minor. He serves prison time, gets out, and you just allow this dude to walk onto your set to start producing children's shows again. Like, who thought this out? Oh, hey, you know what would be a great idea? You know what would be a great idea? You know how we can make the greatest children's show? Let's hire a producer convicted for crimes against a minor. That'll really get the job done. Yeah. That's the formula for success right there. This is psychotic, dude.
I wonder where I'd wear this.
Wear it to a fruit stand. You look like a lime.
So what does this have to do with Dan Schneider? Well, in a 2002 article titled "Groomed to Be All That," it is revealed that Dan Schneider and Brian Peck would host comedy boot camps for Nickelodeon child stars, where they were allegedly separated from their parents. Really?
Dude, this makes Schneider guilty. Dan Schneider is guilty, bro, because it's like Epstein, you know what I'm saying? Epstein got exposed for being a freaky weirdo on his island and shit, right? And now everybody who has ever been associated with Epstein is now a suspect of also being a freaky weirdo, right? You see anybody posing and smiling next to Epstein, now you're suspicious of that person, right? The same should be said right here. Brian Peck, that freaky weirdo, he got convicted, and he hangs out with Dan Schneider alone with children without the parents' supervision. Like, yeah, I feel like there you go. There's the smoking gun. Schneider's guilty, dude. This is freaky.
Really think about that for a bit. The guy that held boot camps for children was convicted and sentenced 2 years later for committing sexual acts with children, and then went straight back to working on children's shows. When asked if he had anything to say to the child he abused, Peck responded with, "I don't have any comment on it. I really don't."
Dude.
And this is the guy that Dan Schneider worked with for years. According to Deadline.com, Dan Schneider was known for having temper issues. During a meeting with Nickelodeon executives, Dan was told that his show Game Shakers would not be renewed for a 4th season, leaving it on a
Good. This show is hot fucking garbage. Good.
It was also reported
it's got kale on there. He thought putting kale in there would really, that'd be enough razzle dazzle to get us to fuck with it. No, you stuck kale in a terrible show. That's all it is.
Nickelodeon's newest show, Cousins for Life, would move into the same studio that all of Schneider's shows were exclusively produced for years, and that Dan wasn't so happy about having to share space now. Perhaps the most absurd allegation towards Dan Schneider is that he is the true father of Jamie Lynn Spears' daughter. Yeah, this is a little silly, but it does lead into something interesting, so I'm going to bring it up for educational purposes, just so you guys know.
This is psychotic.
Jamie Lynn Spears, the star of Zoe 101, infamously got pregnant at 16 years old, which resulted in the cancellation of the show.
I remember that.
Crazy Days and Nights is an online gossiping website ran by an anonymous blogger known as NT, a self-proclaimed dialed-in entertainment lawyer. Supposedly, NT was able to predict certain scandals involving big-name celebrities, such as Weinstein and Kevin Spacey, on his website years before mainstream media caught on. Obviously, there's no way to verify this is accurate, despite the Daily Beast believing so. Regardless, there was an interesting post made by NT in October of 2007 saying, "I don't even know how you define what list someone is when they are on some ensemble show watched by teens and preteens. So go with the above and make her a female. Make her pregnant, which is causing the producers to have a heart attack because they really don't need any more scandals. But wait, there's more. One of the producers, who was old enough to be her grandfather, shouldn't be having a heart attack because of shock, because he is the one who knocked her up. New boyfriends are being lined up as we speak." In December of 2007.
So he's saying this dude supposedly predicted all of these, Harvey Weinstein and Spacey being freaky weirdos. He presumably exposed this, and he's saying that Dan Schneider got Jamie Lynn Spears pregnant at 16, and then they tried to cover it up by lining up boyfriend after boyfriend to sort of be like, no, that's the father. Dude, this is terrible, bro. This is bad, dude.
2 months later, Jamie Lynn Spears announces her pregnancy. Speaking of crazy days and nights, visitors to the website are able to create accounts and comment on NT's posts, often attempting to guess which celebrity will be exposed next. One of these commenters, known as Him, is believed to be Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, the Golden Avenger himself.
What?
Where the hell did this come from? Well, most people came to this conclusion because of what Him revealed about himself through his posts, such as having a troubled youth and nearly destroying his Hollywood career. Him also listed celebrities that he was friends with, including Jon Favreau, Guy Ritchie, David Kelly, John Hughes, Natasha Gregson Wagner, Brian Lord, Tommy Lee Jones, Susanna Hoffs,
Dude, there's no fucking
Steve
way.
Martin, Rachel McAdams, Molly Ringwald, Miranda Cosgrove, and Susan Downey,
There's no way.
Robert Downey Jr.'s wife. It's worth noting that Him's complete list of celebrities included some that people were not able to find a connection to Robert Downey Jr., such as Neil Patrick Harris and John Hamm. Of course, there's no way to know for certain who Him is, but what we do know is that some time ago, he had this to say about Dan Schneider. He's a monster, the worst predator alive. And if you wonder why nobody will confront or charge him, he's in charge of multiple hit shows for Nick, which rakes in oceans of money, tens of millions of dollars multiplied by many years and many shows, not to mention his merchandising royalties. So Viacom Nick warned him to cool it, then pay for his damn lawyers. What about the parents? No tweener parent who shoved their kid into the limelight from birth is going to cross him either, and risk career suicide and loss of revenue and residuals in future career. No matter how bad it fucks up the kids, especially if there's multiple kid actors in the family, and the kids' agents are complicit too, just ask the Spears family. A lot of settlements get paid out of Viacom's accounts.
So, supposedly, Robert Downey fucking Jr. is the one out here exposing Dan Schneider for being a freak. And we don't even know if it's, I don't even think it's Robert Downey. I don't think it's Robert Downey Jr., bro, because if you saw, the only evidence that it's him is the list of friends, and half that list, they couldn't find any connection to him anyways, you know what I'm saying? So it might not even be Robert Downey Jr., bro. It's just, somebody just made that up, dude. But could you imagine Iron Man beat the hell out of Thanos, saved the universe, and then goes and exposes Dan Schneider for being a freak, bro? That's like the ultimate superhero, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Departure
Finally, on
and
March
aftermath.
26, 2018, Nickelodeon parted ways with Dan Schneider. Nickelodeon's official statement was, following many conversations together about next directions and future opportunities, Nickelodeon and our longtime creative partner Dan Schneider / Schneider's Bakery have agreed to not extend the current
Schneider's
deal.
Bakery.
Since several Schneider's Bakery projects are wrapping up, both sides have agreed that this is a natural time for Nickelodeon and Schneider's Bakery to pursue other opportunities and projects. Dan was given a payout of $7 million upon his departure. He and his wife sold their home and currently reside in Hidden Hills, California. It's unknown if Dan Schneider is working on any new projects.
$7
So,
mil!
is Dan guilty? Did he really abuse his young child actors? Well, no one knows for certain. As you may have noticed, there is actually no concrete evidence against Dan Schneider. No celebrity has spoken out, and the ones who did have kept their identities private or are anonymous. So, for all we know, they could be lying. The closest comes to us from Noah Monk, the actor who played Gibby on
That's
iCarly
Gibby!
from the official podcast.
Legendary!
But even he was hesitant.
I heard that Gibby's not gonna be in this iCarly reboot, and if that's true, I'm not watching the fucking show. I'm not. Gibby carried that whole Gibby and Spencer carried the whole fucking show on their backs, bro. You only put one of them in there? Hell no. Hell no.
on defending Dan.
I was sort of, I mean, if that shit went on, I'm fucking like, that's devastating to me because I don't see him in that light, you know? So watching clips on YouTube and shit of that is like crazy. But I mean, the foot fetish shit is like, okay,
dude,
come on.
It's weird, bro. It's weird because I know, you know what I'm saying? I know he's a normal guy. He's an actor who played a character and he's a grown-ass man now, you know what I'm saying? But I always just seen this dude as Gibby, the weird kid that took his shirt off all the time, you know what I'm saying? And so to hear him sit here, he's cussing, he's saying fucking shit and stuff like that, bro. It's like, I'm like, damn, is this the same person? Like, it's, you know what I mean?
Like, I never really noticed that when I was 15 on the show, but of course, looking in retrospect, it's like, oh, okay. No, I don't know. No, and I never observed, saw anything like that or got hints of that. So it's fucking, it might be baseless rumor, but I don't want to speak. Like, what if some shit comes out? I don't want to be on record being like, no, you know. So I have no clue.
That's crazy.
These rumors and accusations have existed for a while, but nobody really said or did anything until Nickelodeon separated themselves from Dan. It was only then that people started growing concern. Why would Nickelodeon fire one of their biggest producers just out of nowhere? Were they aware of something? Many people point to this event as evidence that Dan must be guilty, but I beg to differ. I think it's worth mentioning that Dan's shows have been seriously declining in ratings. iCarly's pilot episode got 4.1 million views. Their most viewed episode, I Saved Your Life, got 11.2 million views. And their least viewed episode, I Battle Chip, got 2.4 million views.
I don't even know what that episode is.
Victorious' pilot episode got 5.7 million. Their most viewed episode, Begging on Your Knees, got 6.1 million. And their least viewed episode, The Hambone King, got 2.39 million. So, not that bad.
Bro,
skipping
look
over
at
Sam and Cat
iCarly.
since that show never finished. Henry Danger's pilot episode got 1.94
Look at iCarly
million
just
views.
dominating.
Their most viewed episode, Hour of Power, got 3.16 million. And their least viewed episode, Saturday Night Lies, got 1.05 million. Game
That's
Shaker's pilot
crazy.
episode got 1.98 million views. Their most viewed episode was the pilot episode. And their least viewed episode,
Imagine the most viewed episode is the first episode. Everybody watched the first episode and they said, yeah, this is dog shit, and then stopped
from
forever.
Utah, got
Nice.
0.52 million views.
Didn't even get a mil. Nice.
It seems as if the Schneider style just wasn't working anymore. Is it not more reasonable that Nickelodeon saw this trend and fired him because of it? I don't want to dismiss any of the people that have investigated and spoken out against him. I mean, with this many rumors and allegations surrounding Dan, it's just kind of hard to ignore it. And it's not like this hasn't happened before. In 2004, a man known as Jason Handy used his job at Nickelodeon to lure young child actors. He was arrested and sentenced to 6 years in prison for molestation and possession of child pornography.
Nice.
And after serving his time, he was released and went straight back to working on Nickelodeon.
What is with Nickelodeon and Jake keep hiring all these convicted chomos, bro? Like, this is the second guy in this video who got convicted of being a freaky weirdo with a minor, and then he gets out of jail, goes right back to working with kids on Nickelodeon. This is like blowing my mind, dude. Can't believe they share a
Hollywood is one of the
network with
most
SpongeBob.
unsupervised, unrestricted industries in the world. The promise of fame and fortune can be so alluring to young and upcoming actresses and actors that they and their families are just willing to do anything. Once you become a public figure, everything you say and do will be held against you. Which is why if some actor or actress in the industry was abused as a child, they'd probably rather say nothing and not risk their career. You can't change the past, so might as well keep making money. I think the most we can definitively say about Dan is that, at the very least, he finds feet entertaining, and that's not a crime. But who knows?
It's not. It's
Maybe
not.
someday an actor or actress will speak out against Dan. Maybe concrete evidence will be found, and maybe something will be done. I suppose we'll never know.
Alright, dude. So here's how I feel, right? The foot fetish thing, okay, right? I don't kink shame. If you've got a foot fetish, that's fine. But the thing with foot fetishes is the whole point of a foot fetish is that it arouses you, right? You get aroused at the sight of feet and beautiful toes, right? That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then when you fulfill that fetish through the feet of minors? That's the problem. That's the issue. That is my issue. The foot fetish itself is not a problem. The fact that he's fulfilling those desires through the child actors, that's the fucking problem, right? Secondly, the problem with this is we have only 3 accusations. We have four. We have 4. We have that Reddit post. We have that weird genie guy. We have supposedly Robert Downey Jr. and we had that girl on the phone, right? We don't know who any of those 4 people are. You know what I'm saying? Out of the 4 people who have these allegations, we haven't seen their face. We haven't seen their name. We have nobody else to confirm any of these stories. Nothing. Like I said, the Reddit dude could just be some Reddit neckbeard trolling on the internet. Robert Downey Jr. could not even be Robert Downey Jr. The genie guy could just be saying some shit and get lucky. And then the girl could just be some girl. You know what I'm saying? But to have that many accusations all saying the same thing, I feel like that says a lot. I feel like that says a lot. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't want to believe, right? And then the whole Jamie Lynn Spears thing blows my mind. That he's the father of her child, and she got pregnant when she was 16. Again, the problem with that is we have nothing confirming or denying. That's the problem. We don't have any confirmation, anything to confirm these allegations, but we have nothing to debunk it. There's nobody that came out and said he's not a freak, he's not a chomo, these are all lies. Nobody has said that. So, I don't really know what to fucking believe, dude. On one hand, he could be a freaky weirdo. On the other hand, he could not be. But this whole situation was just wild, dude.